Alrighty. Okay, once again, I'm Keith, also known as Cynix in game. I'm here with another member of Karnage Esports, taking over from Wolf because his mic's broken. And okay, so I'm going to get right into this interview. Hey Peter, can you please tell us your handle, your age, and
Yeah, hello.
in
Sorry.
whereabouts you are? Like I think UK.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm from the UK. My handle's Pad. And what was the other question? Sorry.
Just how old are you?
Oh, right. 28. So I'm probably the
Okay.
oldest Carnage member, even older than the management, I think. So yeah.
You play mostly on the European server.
Yeah, I do play. Well, I have played a little bit on the NA server,
Okay.
but then I decided to focus on EU meta.
What's the ping like to NA from UK?
It's fine. I mean, to be fair, I don't really notice much of a difference.
Oh,
My
okay, alright.
internet's not great anyway. But when I try and play on Korea, oh, I can tell the difference, and
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
not
I've
playable.
in Australia, generally I can play on NA a bit, but actually Korea's fine. It's mainly a lot of people have different ISPs where they have different routing, so they can either be good to Korea and bad to NA, or bad to
Hmm.
NA and then good to Korea. But anyway, I'm guessing by your display pic that you play Zerg. And
Yeah,
what league are you on roughly? Is it Diamond Masters,
Masters.
somewhere around there? Okay. So generally,
Yeah,
most people in Carnage seem to answer Masters. That's generally like where everyone's at.
yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as I'm aware, everyone in Carnage or derailed Carnage is Master or above.
Okay. Um, can you talk about a little bit about your play style? Do you kind of like a really aggressive play style, kind of more like a macro focused, or does it kind of change in the matchup?
Yeah, sure. I mean, being a Zerg player, to be fair, I'm a very macro person. Like, when I was learning to play the game, I decided not to cheese or do any, like, cheap things. I wanted to play a longer game, so ever since I started all the way to Masters, I literally only macroed, and I only learnt
Yep.
cheeses because obviously best of threes and things like that. I wanted to spice it up, but
For sure,
anytime you
yeah.
face, anytime I play on ladder, it's always going to be macro, to be honest.
Yeah. I kind of like that style. I think cheeses are definitely there's something you want to never not do. Like you want to do a little bit because otherwise people they can actually just open 3CC right off the bat if you're
Hmm.
never going to punish them and things like that. But yeah, generally I respect like a good macro style. Okay.
Yeah, and I think with Zerg, it kind of fits. In my opinion, it fits Zerg really well because of
Mm,
drones and stuff like that. So
yeah.
there's no reason why I prefer it.
Lava mechanic. Yeah. Okay. So about this Dominion Gaming Challenge, do you
Hmm.
know who we have to look out for? Like who are the big the favorites to win this?
Yeah, any turn.
Really? Okay. A
um,
lot of people have been saying Terran. Jeez.
to be honest, from I've not played as much as I should have done because I've been kind of waiting more for the final game,
Okay.
and kind of we're looking at this, so I'm not too happy with it. But that's another story. So I think my if I was gonna bet, I would bet on Albert, so Panda Terran.
Okay.
Uh, he plays a lot. Well, last I knew, he played a lot, and if I was gonna bet, it would be him.
Uh,
I think I might if I can get good enough practice, I might be all right.
yep.
I think Albert's the one to look for, and
That's
second
that's
would be
really
Deepato.
interesting because I mean if you just generally in the community at the moment just on places like Reddit or GSL or just in my own clan in Australia, there's a lot of Terrans thinking they have it really hard. So to hear Terrans like actually being the favorites to win, a lot of people are saying that's upside down from what I'm used to. Usually Terrans are saying, "Oh no, I've got a Zerg. It's a free loss," stuff like that. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice. That's nice.
To be honest, I think once Zerg starts learning how to deal with the stuff, I think we'll be fine. It's just we're still used. Like I know when I play, I'm still used to the sort of Wings of Liberty, and
Yeah.
if I feel like if I just go say masslings or not lings, but like even mutas, like mines and widow mines and stuff, like
Ah,
it doesn't
yeah, fuck that.
exactly, or like Hellbats. It's like, well, I'm
Yeah.
kind of, I feel like I'm forced to go roaches now.
I
Obviously,
think, yeah.
I've seen some
Do you do
pros
much
like who
I'm just talking about ZBT for a bit. Do you
are.
because I used to be Masters on career. I haven't played as much recently, so I've dropped out a bit. But generally in ZBT, do you do much like 2-2 timings? Either +1, +2 carapace, +2 melee, or like +2 missiles if you're doing like a roach aggression. Do you do much like
Uh,
2-2 timings?
I do. I have done a few, but again, like I always aim for my main practice to be the late game, so I always
Yeah,
aim for like
that
the
brood
three
lord.
base. So yeah, so I have done like the
I
odd.
mean, like this is off 3 base. You saturate a third, and you're even getting a fourth and like a hive on behind the aggression. Because I was just
Mhm,
thinking, I was really thinking about the mine problem. And if they're going bio, generally you'd want to go like Ling Bane because roaches aren't that effective versus bio. But then the problem
mhm.
with if you go bio and you do it, if they go bio and then they have mines, then the mines kind of counter the Ling Bane.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you just led with kind of roaches to soak up the first wave of the mines, and then you hit them with the Ling Bane, I thought that might be nice, but we'll see how it goes. You probably have
I
other
mean,
infestors or mutas as well because you got to spend your gas on something.
yeah. I mean,
But
to be
I'll have to try
honest,
that out.
yeah. Even though I see like people like Idra and stuff using Muta still, I've kind of my practice has kind of sworn more towards like Viper, Roach, or
Yeah.
like
Vipers are
because
especially are so good versus mech.
yeah, exactly. If I'm fighting mech and I've got say Roach army or whatever, there's no way I'm ever gonna defeat that without Vipers. Just no
Yeah,
way.
to be
Like
honest, like if I'm versing mech, I don't do this versus bio, but I have a style where I rush lair to get an overseer. I won't be. This is Wings of Liberty, by the way, not Hots.
mhm,
Um, Hots is a little bit different because you can get the speed overlord on hatch tech, so you don't
mm,
need lair to get an overseer to get a guaranteed scout. But okay, in Wings of Liberty, I'd rush lair as my first 100 gas spent. I would get an overseer and I would use that to scout whether they're going mech or bio. And if they're going mech, I'd still get a third, but I wouldn't saturate it much. I would just then get ventral sacks and just do a death drop of roaches. It's so strong. But anyway, kind of getting sidetracked a bit there.
yeah.
I think that's most of the questions. What experiences have you had with Karnage Esports? How long have you been with them? And have you done many online or offline events, tournaments, and things like that? Much stuff has happened.
Yeah, sure. I mean, coming March, I would have been with them for a year. Because I was recruited at I-45,
Okay.
so that was about March time, and since then, sort of, let's say a year's passed. I've mostly gone to the I series events, so I've gone to I-45, 46, 47, and I've just booked my ticket for I-48, so
Okay.
I'll be going there, and I'm hoping to do pretty well. Online cups, I have done a few. I've always preferred the LAN experience. I've not done as
For
much
sure.
online
Yeah.
cups as I should have done.
For sure.
But I have like won the odd one here or there. But I've mostly felt like practicing. I would get more out of the day by laddering than entering a cup to practice. That was my
Okay.
mindset at the time. So I'm gonna change that in heart. I'm gonna probably do a lot more
Yeah, I get
cups.
that because in the online cup you can either there's a big variance in the skill, whereas the variance in the skill on the ladder is pretty. There's not much sway between like very
Mm,
very people that are very very worse than you or very very like a lot better than you. Whereas in the online
yeah,
cup, you could be versing anyone between any skill range. So yeah, it could be bad, not as efficient practice. But yeah, okay. That
but it's
wraps up.
also the.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry. I was going to say it's also the time factor. Like, I mean, when you do a ladder, sorry, when you're doing a cup, you've got to wait for the games to finish,
oh right,
and I
true.
just feel that
Yeah,
that's not the best way to practice. But
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I think the only good thing about that would be if it's best of threes, you can kind of get, yeah, you get the knowledge of preparing. Jeez, I got it last time. Just builds for the best of three. But yeah, that wraps up pretty much all the questions I've got. Cheers for answering these questions, and I think that's it. So thanks for that.
Can I do some shout-outs?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. So I'd like to shout out to my team, first of all, Derailed, which AK is Karnage. I'd like to shout out for you guys for doing this interview, and also the tournament. Looking forward to it, even though Albert's going to win, but that's another story. And shout out to my brother who always supports me as well. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.